Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. It's always a pleasure. Awais Surahyo here, Power Talk. We are today with Shawn Cameron, one of my wonderful colleagues. We connect a lot on different angles, whether it's lending or investments, real estate, and it's always a pleasure. Shawn, welcome.
Awais, thank you for bringing me to your platform today. I've been super excited about this, and
Yeah.
I'm very happy to see that you're putting the ball in motion because this is something that you've shared with me earlier. So I'm really
Yeah.
happy to see that you're picking up progress in this. So thank you for having me.
Pleasure is all mine. As I shared that earlier with you, like it is been a blessing, including you. A lot of different colleagues are giving me their time, their knowledge, and I am taking that to the viewers. So it has been a blessing. So guys, today, as I said, we have a wealth of knowledge. What we are looking into is top three ways to maintain copacetic relationship with tenants during pandemic. So a lot of great information. Please stay throughout the video. And if you have any comments, please put them down below. I would love to connect you with Shawn if you have more questions. But as I said, a lot of wealth of knowledge that you can benefit from. So let's dive into it. Pleasure. So I think first important question that I ask every speaker is, who is Shawn Cameron? So please,
Who
Mike is
is
all
Shawn
yours.
Cameron? So, when posed that question, ultimately a lot of people are like, want to just dive into, what they do, their
Yeah.
profession. And I'm going to take a little bit of a different route because I think, as soon as I hear who is Shawn Cameron, the first thing I think about is, Shawn Cameron is a father of two beautiful children, great family. One of the things I have a huge passion for is just living life on my own terms. And I love and value, learning and just great relationships. So when you say, who is Shawn Cameron? Boom, that's what I'll hit you with to start. As far as, Shawn Cameron profession, I'm a mortgage agent with Centum Smart Mortgages. And I'm also a founder of a real estate investment group. It's my own investment group.
Yeah.
It's called A.I.M, Alternative Investment Mastermind Group.
Yeah.
And we're essentially a group that gets together and networks strategies, different strategies in real estate, ultimately for the goal of, creating financial freedom and, long-term generational wealth. So that's
And
Shawn
I
Cameron.
visit those, like, if you don't mind, we'll share the link below. So if
Yep.
people are in the area, they can come. Guys, amazing group. I know it's COVID-19, so soon we are going online, right?
Yes,
Online,
actually,
which will be
this
amazing.
Thursday will be my first online event. So, yeah, all the information will be below. Come join us, come see what we're about. And yeah.
Yeah, so that is amazing. But usually we meet, like Shawn organizes it once a month, and then we as investors meet. I had a privilege to visit few of them, and they are very informative. So thank you so much, Shawn, for sharing all that information. Um, so why did you decide to be in mortgage or lending industry?
Yeah, so I think the great thing about life sometimes is when you think you're seeking something,
Yeah,
something else finds you. So the mortgage and kind of lending field found me. And, quick story, I had been working probably 17 years of my life in corporate Canada,
yeah,
and I was just looking for a change. I needed to do work that was more meaningful, let's say.
yeah,
And, working hard, not financially free yet, still paying a lot of bills, feeling behind. I got two small kids, growing up, and I'm just looking at this whole equation of, you know, time working and then getting paid. So time getting paid money, time getting paid money. And it just was like, it's just not adding up for me. Like that formula and way of making money was just not adding up for me. So quick, my neighbor had introduced me to, or asked me, hey, you want to come out and invest in some real estate with me? And I'm like, I don't have no money, but I'll come and see what it's all about. And, for that seminar that I went to, that networking seminar I went to, was a Rockstar Real Estate Networking Seminar,
yeah,
amazing group. I witnessed people that had freedom, that had options, that, had the ability to choose what they wanted to do in life, and it fascinated me. So I wanted to learn everything about that industry and everything about how I could be a part of it. And, you know, with open arms, I had a lot of great mentors there that taught me how to invest in real estate. And, you know, because they did this for free and they had no really, you know, there wasn't any monetary gain in sharing with me all these investment strategies.
Of course, yeah.
I felt that I needed to give back. And one of the ways I could give back, or one thing that I observed in that industry is that, you know, regardless of how, you know, quote unquote, wealthy you were, you know, people always had a hard time getting mortgages. And, you know, the more and more property they acquired, the harder it got for them. And this blew my mind because I'm thinking, these guys are loaded. Why did they have so much problems getting mortgages? So that became a problem that I wanted to solve. And, you know, I had 17 years already in the bank world. And so I was familiar with a lot of some of the terms that, you know, we use in the real estate industry.
Yeah.
So I went and got my mortgage agent's license. And since then, I've been able to kind of give back to the same community that helped me with providing solutions to their, you know, various financing problems. And it feels real good. I've been an agent now for, you know, we're coming up to about 4 years now, or just under 4 years. And it feels really good to be able to like directly help back the people that helped me. And in doing that, I also even, you know, got the opportunity to help more people, right? And you know, Awais, you could probably attest to this. You know, helping people get their first home is a pretty awesome feeling, right? That smile they have on their face, it's a lifetime accomplishment for them. And you know, being able to help them get the finances to get there feels totally awesome. So yeah, that's how the mortgage industry found me, pretty much.
Yeah. That's amazing. No, thank you so much for sharing, guys. Load of experience here. Shawn in mortgage industry and his background is in financial sector. So I won't say it's 4 years, it's more than that. And he works with a lot of investors, and being investor himself, we connect and we share a lot of great ideas, and working with investors, and now being a coach, he's doing really well. So thank you for sharing that. So next question, Shawn, would be, what are the challenges you are experiencing or witnessing through your clients in terms of tenants at this point in pandemic?
Great question. So what I've been experiencing, or, you know, kind of the main concern or fear is, are my tenants going to be able to pay their rent on
Obviously.
Payment due date? That's the biggest concern, the biggest fear. And you know, as investors, we're all impacted by that, because that's crucial to our investment.
No, thank you. I think that's the best way to put it, rather than this or that. I think that's the main challenge I think a lot of landlords are facing. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So my question now would be, what are you suggesting to your clients to maintain these copacetic relationships with tenants at this point? Of course, they are having challenges in terms of like getting more lending money and work with tenants. But now coming back to briefly their relationship with tenants in this pandemic, and then what are you suggesting them how to maintain these relationships? So let's.
So you know, it's that a lot of layers to that. And one of the things that maybe I'll take a step back and go to the reason, like, you know, why, you know, we got into, or why investors get into purchasing real estate to start, right? The whole idea is to have, you know, for you to create an asset that produces money for you. And one of the things that help it is, you know, somebody paying down the mortgage. So that relationship between you and the person paying down the mortgage is pretty huge, and it's important. And a lot of the time, the stigmas of getting into real estate is, well, I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to have to do this and that. And I don't want to talk to tenants. And, you know, I think that mentality has to change now, or change a little bit because of this unique time. Because, you know, one of the things that we can do to ensure the probability of us getting that rent, to make sure our asset does what it needs to do, is having a relationship with our tenants. They're
Yeah.
people. They're real people like, me and you. So, I have like three main takeaways and things that you can do to, maintain that relationship to ensure that, the rent is still being paid and, that our tenants are okay and, they're being supported through this time. First of all, number one, when we started this, the D date for, making sure, or sorry, the D date for finding out if tenants paid was April 1st, right? Like April 1st, everybody was waiting like, oh my gosh, did your tenants pay? Did they not pay? Like April 1st was the date. So if you haven't already done so, the first thing you want to do is you want to familiarize yourself with the tools and the resources that the government of Canada are assisting people with.
Okay.
So, I mean, obviously right now we're like, what, 3 months in, what are we in, June? So, there's a CERB payments,
Yeah.
all on the government website. So if you're a landlord that, is directly in contact with your tenants, you want to make sure that they have access to these resources if they need it. There's some, programs that give you access to like EI benefits and things like that. Make sure they're aware of it. Another thing as well, too, insurances. A lot of those kind of industries are helping people with payments and things like that, even some utility bills and things like that. You want to make sure that they have access to some of those resources. So that would be kind of a step one behind the step, because the real most important step is having the initial conversation with your tenants, picking up the phone, email, making sure and just understanding, hey, is everything okay? Where are you at? Showing some empathy, being able to understand, hey, if they've lost their job or if their pay has been reduced, just understanding that they're going through it, because you want to know where your tenants are at. That gesture alone, for my tenants, that gesture alone is what separates somebody working with me, Shawn Cameron, or the nasty landlord. And people don't want to work with a nasty landlord. And it's very easy to miss payments or not care about paying when you're paying the nasty landlord. But, when you're paying someone who actually genuinely empathizes with your situation and is offering ways to help, then there's a different there's a different behavior that comes along with it. Now, another thing is maybe you're not a direct landlord. You're you have property managing your company. That doesn't stop you from getting in touch with your property management company and understanding what are some of the things they're doing to reach out to the tenants. Right. Right now, a lot of the tenant boards are closed, or that the tenant board is closed. So, like, there's no evictions, nothing like that going on. Right. So there is there's stakes in it for you as well too, to make sure that the relationship is as best as it needs to be during this time. My last piece of advice is, once you understand what they're going through, there's no reason for you not to help them with any payment plans. One of the clients that, or not one of the clients, one of the tenants that we have, unfortunately, has been reduced hours. And as a result of reducing their hours, they're not paid as much during the time, like during their pay date, right? So, what we've done with them is we've just structured it so that they can make, like split up the payments into 3. I'm still getting the rent, right? They're still getting paid, or they're still paying the rent. So everything is, still working. And just even me offering that payment plan solution to them, they're like, they know we don't have to do that, and it just helps, they're just as stressed too. Think about it, like being in their shoes, right? They're trying so hard to pay their rent. Now all of a sudden, hours have been reduced, their job is totally changed. The more and more you can show empathy and help them during this time, is the more you turn that like tenant into a long-term tenant, and ultimately turn them into someone that's helping you pay down your asset.
So if I become tenant, I want landlord like you.
Oh yeah, right.
So and one other suggestion, I think, when we were discussing and I can add it to these categories, is, as you said, helping them. A lot of people who are tenants, or even who are landlords, we don't know all the resources available from government.
Yeah.
Just share with them the website, share with them the resources available. Tell them, hey, just take your time, go through everything. People will be surprised where you are getting money from government or getting some resources or payment plans or etc., etc. But there are a lot of resources available from government. I think we are in a great situation. If you look
Yeah.
around the world, not every country is doing what Canada is doing to its people. So we should
Yep.
be very, very thankful to the support we are getting from our government.
I
So
know.
yeah,
Yeah, that's been amazing to see, and how fast. It's not
yeah,
like they came out with their stimulus plan pretty quick.
yeah,
And they make it super easy for people. It's not
of
hard,
course, yeah,
because usually it's on like government sites. It's so hard to navigate. There's so many steps. They've made it really easy. So extending and sharing that knowledge with them
yeah.
helps.
Yeah, no, no, thank you so much. I think those are great ways we can help our copacetic relationship with our tenants, guys. I know it's not easy. It's pandemic. So we all are going through it, same as our tenants. So if you are an investor, landlord, take time. I know it's been a couple of months. People are looking into these things, but still there are relationships which we can bend over or help or do an addition. So please do look into it. Um, yeah, any last final thoughts, suggestions, Shawn, before we move on?
Kind of final thoughts, like in the sense of the importance of the relationship.
Yeah,
So kind of just to give you an idea of how that's kind of impacted my world. So currently, I own a fiveplex with currently 3 tenants in it.
yeah,
A Another single family residential home with a family in it, and sorry, 2 single family residential homes with a town in it. So
yeah,
the importance of collecting rent for me is super important.
yeah,
And at first I was really hesitant, like, do I call, do I reach out, do I do anything? And I was really kind of maybe not feeling the best in doing that to
yeah.
start, because I didn't want to, like, wrinkle any feathers, or like open up any cans of worms anywhere, right?
I know.
But I took the time to research myself in March, and
Yeah,
it was worth it, because now, I mean, again, knock on wood, April, May, June payments have all come in, and I'm getting 100% rent.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you could look and
That's
say,
good.
well, the region that you're getting it in is not the best region, or a region with some issues. But for the properties, I'm getting 100% rent, and I believe it's because I'm a strong believer. It's because I started that relationship prior to April 1st.
Yeah, and that has helped a lot of people because
Yeah,
don't people didn't wait for April or May. They started way before talking to them. Hey, if
yeah,
this happened or that happened, what is our plan B, etc., etc. So that helped a lot.
yeah.
So thank you. Yeah, those are great suggestions, guys. Once again, please, if you have any comments, mention below. This channel is for you. These are videos just to benefit you as viewers. So I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us, Shawn. Highly, highly appreciate it and sharing your knowledge. Uh, so thank you again, everybody. Have a
All right.
wonderful day, and we'll connect with you next time. Bye now.
Thank you. Thank you.